Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to week 30 of our portfolio review, where we go over our buys and sells, as well as the gains and losses in the portfolio. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. As you guys can see, I was up $229.74 for a total return of 0.6%, and I lost $15.43 during after hours trading. For the week, we had a nice recovery after the sell off week we had last week. We were up $699.45 for a total return of 1.9%. For the month, we're up $711.30 for a total of 1.9%. However, for the last 3 months, we're still down. We're down $655.55 for a total loss of 1.7%. For the year, we're still up $9,861.49 for a total return of 36.8%. And our all-time, we're up $10,196.73 for a total return of 38.5%. For the buys and sells, what we did was we added 2 shares of Johnson & Johnson. We added a share on Monday with the buying power that we add to our portfolio each week, and it dropped down further, and we hit a threshold of -5% return. So we added an additional share at 128.27. But Johnson & Johnson did wind up recovering this week. It had some nice growth, and we're going to go over the reasons why I believe it recovered in a little bit. But moving on, we will start off with Disney. Disney had a nice week, recovered nicely after the sell-off, I believe, from Netflix. It was up $3.21 for a total return of 2.2% growth this week. The last week we were up $3,445.86 for a total return of 24.7. This week we're up $4,003.87 for a total return of 28.7%. Disney also gave us a dividend, which we are holding in our buying power. We are holding this in our buying power for the big dips in Johnson & Johnson and potentially Aurora Cannabis. We will go over my thoughts on Aurora Cannabis as well a little later. The only pieces of news that came out as far as Disney was concerned was they said this week Aladdin hit over $1 billion in sales. It's like no news for Disney. All their movies are basically crushing it at the box office. Lion King is doing well as well. Great success. But those were the only pieces of news in Disney. Moving on to Comcast. Comcast had a nice week as well. It was up 53 cents for a total return of 1.2%. It also reached a new all-time high July 25th. That was the day that it had an earnings call, but it also sold off on July 25th as it had a mediocre, basically in the earnings call, the analysts who were asking questions, the questions that they were asking kind of was looking for some type of forward guidance from Comcast, and Comcast just kept alerting them that they don't really, give that type of information, and they didn't want to really release what they were, what their future plans was, as, people were asking about The Office and things like that. They did state that their streaming service would be up and running by April 2020. So last week in Comcast, we were up $942.08 for a total return of 25.8%. This week, we're up $997.20 for a total return of 27.3%. Comcast also paid us a dividend, and we did the same thing with that dividend that we put in Disney. We put that into our buying power should our stocks keep falling. They had an earnings beat. Their expected earnings was 75 cents. They beat it by 78 cents. Morgan Stanley and Merrill Lynch also raised the stock from a buy to a strong buy. And the reasons were they cited that the EBITDA for Comcast going through 2020 is will be great, and they raised the price targets from I think $56 to about $58. So Comcast will probably be seeing continued growth. But that's it for Comcast. Johnson & Johnson, like we said, Johnson & Johnson had a great recovery week as well, as it was up 50 cents for a total return of 0.3%. And last week in Johnson & Johnson, we were down $34.49 for a total return of negative 0.42%. This week we're down $29.84 for a total loss of 2.7%. Now, Johnson & Johnson had some pretty good news as their multiple sclerosis drug that they're working on, it passed its phase 3 clinical trial, and they also got upgrades from I think 2 companies, I believe, as well as a fund added a bunch of shares of Johnson & Johnson. So Johnson & Johnson did receive some good news there, and they also, I believe, they will be updating us on the court proceedings that's going on in Delaware, as one of the companies that they own is filing for bankruptcy, and they're trying to throw out a couple of the cases for their baby powder. So we'll see how that actually goes. But that was basically it for Johnson & Johnson. Moving on to Aurora Cannabis. If you guys can remember, back 2 weeks ago, I told you guys I was going to put a stop loss on Aurora Cannabis, and I didn't. And I'll go over the reasons why in a second. But Aurora Cannabis did hit, if you guys can see right here, it hit that 650, and that's where I said I was going to put the stop loss, and then it trended up, and it just was playing with people's emotions, and then towards the last bit of the week, it just sold off. Now, what's going on with Aurora is you guys can actually check out, there is on YouTube, if you type in Aurora and you type in UFC, they had a press conference for their new partnership that they have. And inside of the partnership, they said that it will be an 8-year partnership, and they are looking to develop drugs for athletes who may need the CBD for inflation, and so they're trying to make a tropical cream, and they're also trying to develop some type of cream that you can put on like cuts and bruises and things like that. And the name of the drugs, the medical drugs that will be coming out of it, will be called Roar Sports. So that is the name that they have chosen for it. So when they gave me the forward guidance of an 8-year partnership, it's like I could probably be potentially holding the stock for a very long time. So that made me not want to sell the shares of the company. Now, if the company dips below my average cost of $6.14, if it starts hitting that $5 threshold, where I was talking about maybe selling my position in Apple and buying that REIT, ETF, I might just sell my shares of Apple, and then what's that, about three? We'll just go over Apple. Go to Apple really quick. So that's about $3,500 right now. If I sell that $3,500, it will double my position in Aurora Cannabis, and I will potentially reap the benefits of the company eventually getting some type of partnership, big partnership or deal, And the only thing about it is I will have over 1,000 shares of the company, and the company, every penny the company moves, I will be losing or gaining $10. So I might not want to look at my portfolio while it's going through those swings until we get some news from Aurora Cannabis. But that is still just thoughts in my head, as I'm not 100% sure on what's going on. It's just a shame that the Bank of America and other analysts are trying to bully the stock and drag the stock down so that they will hurry up and make some type of partnership deal. But other than that, we were down. Last week we were up $370.16 for a total return of 11.3%. This week we're only up $131.16 for a total return of 4.2%. So we will continue to hold Aurora Cannabis. Next was Bank of America. Bank of America had some great growth, and we'll get into our total return first. As last week we were up 104.35 for a total return of 1.9%. This week we're up $365.63 for a total return of 6.9%. Now, Warren Buffett's annual filings had came out this week, and in his annual filings, people saw that Warren Buffett was adding more shares of Bank of America as he liked the buybacks and the dividend growth from Bank of America, and now he owns a little bit over 10% of the company. And once people saw that Buffett was buying Bank of America, the analyst upgrades for the stock, started showing. So they moved the price target from Bank of America. A lot of the analysts who upgraded the stock moved the price target from $32 to about $36 to $38 on Bank of America. So that saw Bank of America have some nice growth, as they were up 5% this week for a total. They made $1.48 based off of that news. So that is basically it. Apple, this is dead in the water money. It just produces me a dividend every month, and we will probably potentially be moving this into either Aurora Cannabis or Johnson & Johnson based off of some of the things that happen. And just scanning through just to make sure that there was nothing else I wanted to let you guys know about this portfolio. Nope. We will, however, just take a look at our gains and losses through the stocks really quick before we move into the subscriber portfolio. And this is my results for my gains and losses. Let's go into the subscriber portfolio. And in our subscriber portfolio, we did pretty well, as I was on the call for about 10 minutes and I got off. But Starbucks had great earnings. It beat revenue, everything. It smashed everything, and the stock soared. So we're up $24.57 on this portfolio for a total return of 11.8%. Starbucks, like I said, is killing it. We're up $22.69. It's at all-time highs. Uber is up $1.05, and Sprint is up as well. Uber and Starbucks also came out and reported that Starbucks and Uber will have a partnership deal where Starbucks will now be a part of Uber Eats. So if you guys are looking for that $7 coffee from Starbucks, you guys can have it sent to you through Uber Eats. And Sprint also got a piece of good news, as Sprint let the DOJ approve the merger between Sprint and T-Mobile. So that is basically all the news that I have, and that's all the time that I have. If you guys enjoyed the video, what I ask you guys to do is leave a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe. But other than that, you guys have a great weekend. If you have any comments, you just let me know in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. But other than that, thanks you guys for checking me out, and have a great weekend.